happy birthday, Matt. And that's how I'm opening.
Birthday,
just nice
Thanks.
and simple.
Thank
It's Matt's
you.
birthday, sort of.
I mean,
Yeah.
here it was Matt's birthday 2 days ago.
Yes.
And there it was Matt's birthday yesterday.
Yes.
So
But I think in England, maybe it's still my birthday.
could still be a birthday.
yes.
Yeah.
So, and I do have family in all of those regions. So
Because technically your birthday, depending on where you are, does last like 48 hours.
I get messages for quite a long time. It's nice.
I wonder if anyone's tried to elongate their birthday. I bet one of the Kardashians has done it. You know?
Did you say birthday? Sorry, no. You could do that. Just chase it around the world.
Chase the sun. Yeah, if you've got that.
Your birthday.
Yep. Be quite boring.
I
You've been a
often think
plane.
too, like, what would I have to do to get a longer life than I would have if I stayed in one place? You know, just chase time zones and, you know, cross the equator but not come back the other way.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, because then I'd have like the 14th, the second time.
I bet Brian Johnson's onto this. Have you seen him, that guy that's trying to live forever?
Oh, that guy. The guy, doesn't he like inject himself with his son's semen or something?
No, his son's blood.
Yeah.
Oh, blood.
Not much better.
I mean, Dan could be. Who knows at this point?
Yeah,
he does
yeah.
all sorts of weird shit.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
Injects, drinks, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he'd be on it. Luke, you've been injected with stuff, have you not?
Yes, just recently.
How are you?
I'm a little bit out of it still. So
Was that an injection? They finally convinced
No.
you that you do need to do that? Or
So
it's
in the
something
past,
new?
I have been going for ketamine treatments. So, you
Yes.
know, horse tranquilizers. Well, that doesn't work anymore.
Matthew Perry tranquilizers.
Yes.
Have they tried the ivermectin? That cures everything, I think.
Not quite. So they took me in, and I thought I was just I wasn't quite sure what they're doing. They were going to electrocute nerves. And I went, yeah, whatever. I get there. And they go, okay, we're going to put you under now. And so I was thinking like just a local, no, general anesthetic, but not
Just
quite under.
electrocute me, mate.
Yeah.
What I had to do was they put me to twilight state, so I was under because I still
were a
had to
vampire.
respond
Oh,
because they had X-ray
Oh.
machines and had needles in my leg finding the nerves, and I had to respond to tell them if I could feel the tingling, and then they would
Oh.
electrocute me. But the thing is,
Huh.
I don't remember any of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember laying there going, okay, we're going to inject you now. And then the next thing they go, Luke, they're waking me up going, Luke, you did fantastic. And I went, what?
You passed the test.
I passed the test. So now I'm in a lot of pain,
Oh, no.
which is an expected side effect after it.
But you still have two legs.
Still have two legs at the moment.
Because I questioned, you had sent a photo of your legs
Yes.
and then said, all right, see you later. And then for a moment, I was like, wait a minute. Is this it? He just
No,
didn't fucking say anything.
I'd give you a bit more notice than
That's
that.
what I thought. But then that
And
photo,
also
I was
I-
just like,
If I'm picking you up from the hospital, which is what we had planned to do,
Yes.
and you're only going to have one leg, I need to know ahead of time for logistics, and also just so that I don't go, oh,
no, that's not
no.
my friend. My friend has two legs.
yeah.
There'll be
looks
more
like
notice,
him,
and for that, I think I'm in hospital for 3 weeks if I have that happen.
I was going to say that makes more sense.
Yes, then a day.
Yeah.
Pick me up the day of. But yeah, so now I've just got to deal with the pain for a little bit, and then got to wear off, and then we'll see what happens.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but they electrocuted the ends of the nerves to try and stop them firing off.
Okay.
And evidently, if it works, it can last from 3 to 12 months.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
3 to 2, I mean,
12 months is good if you get
12
that.
months is good. 3 months. We'll see.
yeah. You may
They
have
wouldn't let
noticed
me
that I
leave
stopped paying
hospital.
attention.
Everything all right?
Oh,
My professor before he did the surgery. He's like, "Oh yeah, your friend's coming to get you. Yeah, that'll be fine. He knows me. He's yep, whatever." The nurses went, "Nah, we've booked you a room. You're going to stay here tonight." And I'm, well, this is fine. My professor says it's fine. It's good. I think no, they kept me. They wanted to look after me one night.
and did they look after.
No, they kept me awake all night, taking my blood pressure.
Oh, they did that thing, right? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They
Yeah.
love doing that.
All I want to do is sleep. Just let me sleep.
You mentioned a miracle drug that can cure anything, and that's the premise of a show I mentioned recently, Common Side Effects, which is very good. I've just finished season 1, animated show. There's 2 characters in it that are excellent. They're 2 cops, and I think they would be great to cosplay as.
Right.
For me and Luke. But one of us does have to be in blackface. But thankfully, it's the taller of the 2, and you don't have a problem with it, right? But answer me this, Luke. Scroll down to cell 66 or 67. You can have a look at these two cops. I'm thinking giant paper mache heads of these characters' faces.
See, I have no idea who these
bodies.
people are.
It's very fun. They're so fun. Hey, visitor!
I say we just stick with the original idea, Zap Brannigan and Kiff.
That is a pretty good idea. Yeah, a lot of body paint necessary for me though. That one.
Yep.
But it's either one of us colors their whole body.
So I'm voting for Futurama.
Yeah. There's a great character introduction in this show of this characters. It's just the one cop sitting in the car and he's looking through the windscreen, and the other cop is in line for a hot dog for like getting both their lunch and bring it back.
Yep.
And he grabs the radio, just holds it on, and then just turns up the radio, and there's this really funky song on, and you just see the other cop standing in line for the hot dog just start going and just dancing, like just knowing that because it's coming through the radio. It's just such a great partners. Like, oh, here's your favorite song. It's on right now. Like,
and they're playing the radio for you, and
and then she just dances in the queue, even
while
though
getting their lunch.
Everyone can see. Yeah, it was good. Giant paper mache heads. That's my plan.
Do you know how to make paper mache heads?
He made a paper mache planet.
Would you take the time to make giant paper mache heads?
Yeah. Do I have the time? That's a whole other question. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's great to come up with the ideas, having the time to do them. That's why with cosplay, I reckon you pay someone to make it for you.
Yeah. I also don't have a lot of money. I don't have time, and I don't have money.
That's always a problem
what we used
as well.
to say. When we were in our 20s, we were like, "Oh, we used to have no time, no money, and heaps of time, and now we've got heaps of money, and now it's like, well, I don't have any of that anymore.
Yeah, but nothing.
I don't have the time or the money."
No.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that. We're doing it slightly later, and she's awake.
Yes. Yeah. Because she usually wakes up right at the tail end, but now she's waking up right at the start.
Yeah, exactly. All good.
Excellent.
You're all louder than you were before. Are you sitting somewhere different?
Am I?
Closer?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Is that better?
Maybe you're just using your dad voice. All right, calm down.
Yes.
Put our boys away.
Maybe, right. I know she's awake now, so it's like I don't have to be quiet. I can turn myself down.
No.
No. Don't be hard on yourself.
You do you. You do you, boo.
All right. Sorry, what did I miss? Anything?
Luke refuses to do blackface with me. And
Yes.
Flat
Times have
out
changed.
refuses. Yeah, so we're going to have to go back to our original plan of Rick and Morty.
Well, there's no Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that'd be great. You get to wear the cool costume. I just get to wear a yellow t-shirt and a pair of pants.
I don't even know who Rick and Morty are yet. I haven't seen anything.
Yesterday,
You're turning into one of these fans that scares me.
You know, it's funny. My mother-in-law was here today, and she folds our laundry sometimes if she's just pottering around and decides we haven't done it quick enough.
Yeah.
And she found my Pickle Rick socks, and she comes into my room. She's like, "These aren't yours," and I'm like, "No, they are mine." She's like, "This isn't the kind of sock you wear." I'm like, "No, I know, but I bought. They're my one crazy sock." She's like, "I don't like this.
I don't approve of this, Daniel.
Yeah." She tells me when she doesn't approve. Yeah.
So you had to fold them yourself?
When I need a haircut. Yeah.
When I was young, my nan came to visit from England, and she's like, oh, I'll do the laundry, all this kind of stuff, and she ironed everything,
Mhm.
and she ironed like creases into our jeans,
Mhm.
Like a pair of
as
military trousers.
exactly right. And I remember going to get my jeans and being like, fuck.
No. Yeah, this can't be.
Because that also would have taken time and effort.
Yeah.
They are good at ironing, though. Nans,
Oh, yeah.
women of that generation are
Yeah.
fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Now I don't even own an ironing board.
Yeah. That's a skill women have lost. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. It might be controversial to say that, but
I did save a picture. Hold on, just on that topic. And we do have some J.K. Rowling news today.
she is a woman.
She is a woman. But I did see.
You can be sure of that.
She's made that abundantly clear. Somebody named Stella Creasy, and I honestly I don't know who that is, but I'm sure she's a lovely woman.
Stella Creasy.
Or
that's what I said when my nan creased my pants. Stella Creasy, man.
Whoa, Stella Creasy. That does sound like early 90s slang. It isn't, but it could have been, right?
Yeah.
But I just saw this just pop up on my Facebook. J.K. Rowling is wrong. A woman can have a penis. Now, I don't want to get biological, but can they?
Well,
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not asking you two to answer it. I'm just saying.
If you reword the question, if biological woman, then I think no. But that's not what that person
is. There any
saying.
other kind?
What about people who are born with both?
True.
Not a man
I'm
or
assuming they mean
hermaphrodite. Right?
I mean, we don't have to do this.
That's what I learned.
I'm assuming that's referring to trans women.
High school. Yeah, but it doesn't say that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know, but they've
you don't even need to make
prior
that distinction.
established that trans women are women. So when they say women, I think they just mean that. And whether you agree with them or not, I think that's what they mean.
I don't disagree. I just think it's hilarious that it's just like, look at this loser who thinks fucking men have a penis.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling has come out.
She's come
guns
out.
blazing. Yeah, she's come out. I'll imagine that. No, that would still be okay, providing that you still believe in the gender binary, right?
Sure. Yeah. You
Probably.
like
I don't want to.
I
don't want to.
Well, that's it. She made Dumbledore gay, so she's got nothing wrong with people being gay.
That's right.
Just as long as you still your own sex.
I think you'll find something else made Dumbledore gay. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got some other news, but go on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, this is pretty quick because all she did, she retweeted the poster for the National Asexuals Day. Which you think, oh, that's nice, she's supporting them. But no. She decided to comment under it, Happy International Fake Oppression Day to anyone who wants complete strangers to know they don't fancy a shag.
Right. I mean...
How are they hurting anyone?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Also, I think I'm as dubious as the next guy about some of this cultural stuff and identity politics, but I know that that's not what asexual means. Asexual doesn't mean you're not horny, right?
Sure.
But what does it matter? It doesn't hurt anyone.
You're right. Even if it did, who cares? I mean, I guess she can have her opinion, but it is very, for somebody who's like, I'm just misunderstood. She's very venomous about these things.
Yes.
She is now. And I must say,
she's gotten worse.
At the start, when all she was doing was asking questions, I was 100% on her side because I'm like, no one is asking questions. And these are some pretty big changes to language we're making.
Yeah.
So let's ask all the questions.
Sure.
And if we decide, yes, this is all good, then it is all good. And majority rules, that's how language works. But she's doubled and tripled and quadrupled down now on the what I would call hate speech, right, at this point.
Yeah, she's just gone hard in the... I mean, probably a result of the years now of fucking what's been going on. She's just like...
Yeah, that's just her.
Does she actually do anything anymore?
Doesn't need to,
well, she was doing like... she was involved in the shows and the movies and stuff, but they've kind of either walked her out of the room because of all this stuff, or they're just thrown a sheet over her and she's still there, but they don't talk about it.
She wrote a book that was outside of that did terribly, and then she went back to do some more Harry Potter stuff. And now I think
she did a bunch of crime novels under a pseudonym she wrote them as a man, like under the pseudonym of a man. and that was controversial.
Does that
too
make her trans? That's controversial to me now with everything she's said.
The books were about a killer who dresses up as a woman to commit murder, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is just a theme with her." That she's like,
I mean, mind you, that's
what she thinks trans people are.
No spoilers for Psycho from 1960, but that's the plot of that as well, right?
Yeah, it's just like
no spoilers
when you combined with all the other stuff.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
There's a theme here.
That's also the plot of that. Like, there's a lot going on with that plot. But
is she just influenced in her entire life by those films? Like,
I think it's maybe, but I tend to think, did she really think all of this, or did she just make one comment that just got so much attention that she was like, I think I've found my fucking rat hole that I'm just going to follow to the very end. I will
die on this hill.
Yeah, for the same thing as like, I honest to God don't believe that fucking Kanye West is a Nazi. I just do not believe it. I don't believe he is sophisticated enough to be a Nazi, let alone anything else.
He doesn't know anything about them.
That's what I mean, right? Yeah. The Nazis were very ideological. He is not.
No. But it's just a dramatic thing for him to do.
Yeah. And I kind of get the feeling that some people, like, they say something controversial, it gets them the right attention, and they just fucking go for it.
Well, it seems, with Kanye, that does seem to be what happens with him. He'll say everyone will talk about it, then he'll go away, everyone will sort of forget about him, and he go, hold on, people aren't talking about me, Nazis.
Well, it's like he was even like at one point, I've just learned what a Nazi is.
Yeah, definitely not one of them.
Yeah, but then the more he thought about it, he was like, no, actually, I am one. Like, I'm not a card-carrying Nazi, but
that's so funny, right?
I do hate the Jews.
He's like, I'm a Nazi. Do you know what a Nazi is? No. Looked into it. Oh, I don't like that. Keep looking into it. Oh, maybe I do like that. Maybe I've misjudged.
I'll give him a chance.
What an evolution.
Yeah, that's like the time one of my ex-girlfriends called me closed-minded because I wouldn't believe in fucking Ike's reptilian theory.
I mean, I love David Icke, but
I love him too. But I
often he's one in particular, and I did it. It was because I did a fake interview with him for this show once. I did a little mock-up interview, and I was watching his stuff, and I've always thought, because I never looked into it, I thought maybe he's misunderstood. Maybe he's got some zany ideas. No, he's fucking insane. I watched the lecture that I got some of those clips from.
Yeah,
where he thinks there's like another planet in the solar system, and I don't even remember what the relevance of this is to anything.
And isn't it like directly opposite Earth, which is why we can't see it because the sun's always in the way.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
But there are people who believe that he's not the only one.
He's giving a lecture to these audiences. They're like hanging on his every word. Like, oh my god.
Calling other people closed-minded if they don't listen to it. Here's the thing, right? As far-fetched as that sounded, if you brought evidence that was the case, I've got no choice but to believe it because I'll believe whatever I see evidence for. Like, that is how science works, right? It's not where did he get any of this? It's imaginary.
That's the thing. It's not that there's no evidence for it, but it's constructed in a way. It's like a form of evidence where it's unfalsifiable.
Yes,
with the evidence we do
but
have.
Unfalsifiable
Therefore,
doesn't
prove
mean
me
not
wrong.
Made up.
So
that's what I'm saying. It seems like that's what he thinks he's doing.
It's sort of like with flat earthers. They cannot give evidence for flat Earth. All they do will try and poke holes in the globe and try and use that as evidence of flat Earth.
Poke holes in the globe.
Yeah, don't do that.
It'll burst.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't work like that.
Is
not
that
a balloon.
A Rabbitohs can?
Prove it's not a balloon, Luke.
Oh, no, it's a stubby holder.
It's a koozie.
Right. I thought there was... okay.
Yeah.
What's in it? Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew, I'm sure. It's Mountain Dew.
I'm not feeling the best. So it's just a vodka double cruiser.
Yeah. Because Luke has come out of surgery and he's a 17-year-old girl at a rave that she's snuck into.
I'm not feeling well. I'm just having a Bacardi freezer.
Double.
I'm still a little bit out of it from the thingy, the
electrolysis,
anaesthetist.
The anesthetist.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll be a man.
don't have to be a man.
Drink VB.
No. What is a man? What even is a man?
Yeah.
What is a man?
Ask J.K. Rowling.
I would ask her, and I'd say, "Am I a man?" And if she says no, I'd say, "Well, make me a man." Not in a Frankenstein.
J.K. Rowling.
I was going to say.
I would 100% sleep with J.K. Rowling. I mean, I wouldn't want her to talk about identity politics, but I find her attractive. Sure, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm into.
This has got a strange direction. I wanted to mention...
You got a strange erection?
He mentioned she made Dumbledore gay.
Yes.
And I just wanted to mention that I saw this article. There's a Christian...
Sorry, can I just ask you,
podcaster.
because I've not read these books, is that in a book or was that a tweet?
It was a
tweet
a
that
clarification later. Yeah, a tweet
okay.
probably.
But now
Right.
part of
But there's
the
no point
movies.
in the actual book where somebody says, "Let's
It's
go to
completely
bed."
irrelevant in the books. He's an old man.
Yeah.
It doesn't even come up. No
But
one gives a
does
shit.
it doesn't come up in the prequels, those other books?
It does,
movies?
I think. Yeah.
Did she
But
write those, or are they just licensed?
I think they're movies. I don't think there are books. In
Oh,
those.
okay. They're not based on
Yeah.
books. Okay.
I think she was involved until they, like I said, shoved her out the door at some point.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like it was a tweet to go,
And,
yes, he was.
Also, Hermione was black, apparently. And everyone was like,
Yes.
and she was like, I never said what she was. And everyone was like, it's fucking clear that she's coded as a
clear.
white
Yeah,
child.
she's a Caucasian person.
Yeah.
But like all the other kids at that Scottish boarding school, except for the ones you mentioned specifically, aren't.
Yes. And all the ones that are of the races have very stereotypically racist names.
Right.
I don't think you would have named her Hermione Granger if you thought she was... Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not your
I mean,
style, Joanne.
you could argue that the white people also have quite stereotypically white names. She's just not that imaginative.
Right.
And, yeah,
That's the thing
or
too. Now,
subtle.
if you're condescending to her, you call her Joanne. That's the thing on the internet. Have you noticed that? You don't call
Yeah,
her
I have
J.K.
noticed
Rowling.
that, except that is her name.
I
And
know,
she
but it's just
hates
become a meme
being
now.
called JK because she has said they forced her to do that so that people would think of her more like J.R. Tolkien. And
that they
she
wouldn't know it was a
doesn't want
woman.
it. Yeah, she wanted Joanne Rowling as the name. So I don't know why calling her a name as a fucking diss.
It's not like an insult, yeah. But anyway, on the subject of turning people gay, a Christian nationalist podcast host this week in a podcast, this clip went viral because he was talking about a trip to Florida and how he said whenever he goes to the airport, he makes them pat him down because he's not going to go through the gay laser machine. And then people were like, what?
Yeah.
And he said, you don't know what that thing's
I'd rather
doing
a
to you."
man touch me.
That's what I'm
Shoot a
thinking.
laser at me.
He says that. He goes, ironically, people think it's a bit weirder to have a man touch you. I don't think so, mate. You don't know what that machine's doing to you. He thinks the machine turns you gay.
Yeah, and he also said, "I won't let my son through that machine."
Yeah, he said
And
he will
said
his
he'd
friend
like
do
the
it.
son.
Oh, was
Yeah.
his son? Oh, it was his son.
Was that his friend?
I don't know. Whoever it is.
To be honest, I think the friend's name was CJ, and I just assumed because that's a fucking little boy name.
Yeah.
So
you go.
it could be a friend. Yeah,
I don't know, actually.
No, you're not going through that. I need to watch this man touch you.
Yeah.
yeah, and then he's going to touch me
Me.
with you all over his hands.
I mean, yeah. I just thought that's very funny.
It is very funny.
Yeah.
Now, is he talking about just the normal? Like he's talking about the new ones, or just
I think he's talking about this one.
the
where you
new
can
ones,
see the
like the
dick.
ones where you
The
can
one where it
sort
goes,
of,
that one.
yeah,
I just,
Yeah, it couldn't possibly just be the metal detector. could it?
yeah.
who knows? And just the casual nature, he just says it. If you watch the clip, he's just like, he's like, yeah, obviously I'm not going to go through the gay maker, as they call it.
Yeah, as everyone calls it.
I mean, they've got a sign on it that says "Caution may turn you gay." Why would you get in it?
I got, just talking about metal detectors and gays, I got hit on once by a
Right.
gay security guard at the Daily Planet nightclub in Penrith.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was so uncomfortable because I was very, very young. It was an under 18s night and he was a man.
Oh,
And he worked there, right? He was the security guard and he's just going "Woo, woo, woo," with the wand of everyone who walked in. And he gets to me and he goes, "You got anything I might be interested in?" And I'm like, "No." And then he puts it down near my dick and goes, I don't know, some down here I might be interested in. And I was like, fucking what?
A lighter. Have you got a lighter?
Yeah, that's right.
See, I've never been to the. I never went to the Daily Planet.
Fuck
No.
off, you didn't. I don't.
I
believe
never went
that
to the
for a
Daily
second.
Planet. No, never went. I would not have fit in at the Daily Planet.
No one
What's
fits.
St
I don't
Mary's?
know what. No,
What's-
it's on High
no.
Street in Penrith.
Oh, all right. What's the one?
You're thinking of what's that one? The one out the back of the Leagues Club.
Yes. What was that?
I never went there either.
Go on. Go on.
The closest I got to the Daily Planet is when you're going in someone's car and just driving down High Street to go past and just look at girls.
Yeah, Mall
Do you know
Run.
what? I
Yeah.
reckon the funniest thing to do now, if you could find, is just to look at, because in my head, those things were very grown up things that we could do when we turned, when we got old enough. I bet if I saw photos of that now, it would just be a bunch of fucking children.
Yeah,
hammered.
fucking playing around. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I reckon it'd be very, very strange to see what it actually was.
Well, do you remember they had dollar drink night at the Daily Planet at one point?
Yeah,
God.
Dollar drink night, and a friend of ours, I could say his name because he's dead, right? Robert Styler, you know who you are.
That's the rule, is it?
This is a guy who on another night got stabbed in the back.
What's he going to do?
with a
Stop
knife
talking to us again?
behind the Daily Planet. Yeah, but he
He would
he
appreciate
spent-
the jokes.
he
It's fine.
spent $50+ on dollar drinks there, and had to go to
Jesus.
European hospital to get his stomach pumped.
Wow.
See, I used to get drunk, but I never got that drunk.
Yeah. When
no, I
Luke
did.
Alderson says, "Whoa, that's pretty fucking drunk."
Yeah, I think maybe
You've had
if
enough.
Luke Alderson goes to the bar and says, "I think you should cut that guy off." You've got a problem.
yeah.
Swamp Bar was another good one for cheap
Yes.
drinks.
Oh, yes. One bar.
Well, I actually
What?
went to that uni, right? And it was cheaper there to buy a beer than a Coke because a beer was $2.20 for a schooner and a Coke was $2.80.
Well, I
at
used to go there
lunch,
on a
just
Thursday night. They used to have bands playing, and it was Jolly Jugs, so you get a jug of beer
Jolly
for
Jugs.
$5.
yeah. And then we discovered if you bought a glass from them for $5, it was only $2 for a beer or $1.80 or something stupid. So we just had a glass behind the fucking counter with our name on it.
It was what was stupid is how I used to get to and from there. The fastest way was
hitchhiking?
for me to jump train tracks.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
You didn't go through
Back
the
across
Coleman?
Kingswood.
No, you didn't want to walk that whole way. It was
Didn't walk that whole way. I
down.
went straight there, so just jumped the train tracks. And I was
Yeah, I
young.
don't want to freak you out, Luke, but I literally saw two halves of a person on that very track, roughly in that area, once when I was working at
I
Fox.
can
I don't
believe
freak
that.
you out, but I know somebody who ended their life that way, and I wonder if that's who you saw.
Fucking hell. Near Kingswood?
Yeah,
Yeah,
someone
right.
from
I mean,
Warrington.
how many could there possibly be?
A lot, actually.
Yeah,
someone our age?
unfortunately, it might be.
Yeah, probably.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I
like
couldn't-
slightly older than us, but yeah.
I mean, I
someone
couldn't
from,
tell age, sex, or race.
Someone from
by the business or-
a friend group. It's someone you might have bumped into at some point. Someone from that friend group in Warrington.
Oh. Oh, did it on purpose?
Yeah. Well,
Let's
we
move
think
on
so.
to
We
it.
think so.
Right.
The comedy part of the podcast.
Oh, all right, fine.
This is segueing off your thing. Before we leave local fucking Western Sydney bars that no one will know about but us. Not Western Sydney, but Manning Bar, right? At UNSW. Which I saw so many. I saw Dresden Dolls there fucking when they were nobodies. But there's a covers band at the moment, fucking not 30 Seconds to Mars. What's the other emo band?
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, there's a My Chemical Romance covers band playing there at the moment, which I find odd that we're already far enough in the future of when they were popular that we can have a covers band. But
No,
I
they're
love them.
quite old now.
They're not. Well, I think like ABBA, Elvis, the Beatles.
But
Yeah.
they
Not
were
My
old when
Chemical
we were
Romance.
old, when we were children. We're now
that
adults.
But the name of the covers band is the Black Charade, and I think that's just a great
That's
name
pretty
for
good.
that kind of tribute
Yeah,
band.
that's a clever cover band name.
Yeah, that's
I like
better
that.
than Abacadabra. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, My Chemical Romance have been around since 2001.
Yeah,
20
That's quite a while.
but they're not
4
ABBA.
years.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, but when we were young and you thought ABBA were old, that would have been
Yeah, about
10
the
years
same.
ago.
Yeah, you're
plus.
right. Yeah, that's true. The weird because my parents used to listen to the oldies station in the 80s, 2WS, right, which
Yep.
was stuff from the 60s and 70s because this was the 80s and that was old. But it was like that stuff now is like, yeah, as you say, people, in the millennium. And that freaks me out.
Guys, I went to Lumon. I
Are
mentioned
you
I was
in
going to do
Innie or
that.
an Audi?
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You tell me.
there's very few ways to tell.
I know
now.
too many things to be an idiot, I suppose.
Yeah, but I have a feeling. I've got a theory what's going to happen next season.
About
Maybe
Severance.
it's
Actually,
obvious.
funnily enough, well, we can talk about that. So just quickly, on the way back from
let's extrapolate this.
on the way back from New Jersey, Jenna had pointed out that there was the location of the office where they shoot Severance was very close to where I was in New Jersey, and sent me the address. And it's the Bell Labs building in New Jersey. And I
the Bell
was like,
Telephone Company.
right.
Yeah,
I was like, I'll go check it
like
out.
the
on the way back.
original telephone company.
Yeah. There's like an old payphone in there as well. That's some photos
Awesome.
of stuff. So I was like, I'll go have a look. And as I'm driving in, I'm like, oh yeah, this is, it's a very unique looking building, like the parking lot and everything like that. It's all kind of got this weird egg shape around it and whatever. So I'm driving in, I'm like, oh wow, this is it. And then they had these electronic billboards that said "Welcome to Lumon," and Apple TV kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that's a fun little gag. I should do a loop and take a photo of those because I assume it's just going to be an office building that I can't
That's
go
the
into.
extent of it. Yeah.
So I park.
Someone's work.
Yeah, exactly right. So I park and I walk up and I notice that there's a bunch of people, not like tons and tons of people, but a bunch of people posing because they've got the Lumon sign on the front of the building. And I was like, oh.
Which I guess makes sense that they would build a
leave
prop
it.
sign. Yeah.
Yeah. So people are taking photos with it. And then I'm like, oh, you can go inside. So I go inside and the foyer, like the lobby, is just the set.
Yeah,
From-
because
they
I was
do
gonna
film
ask
it all
you,
at night,
when
don't
you
they?
snapped a picture of that watermelon head, I was
Yeah.
like, well, hold on.
I was surprised. There's
This
just
isn't
tons
real,
of stuff
is it?
there that's just, I guess they just,
amazing.
it's fun. Why not just leave it, I
Yeah.
suppose? So you walk in the lobby and it's got the desk with the Lumon. It's the set from the show. It's just they're fenced off. They have security everywhere. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Like the building is really, really cool. Like, I mean, you can see it in the show. You can see why they picked it. Architectural.
Yeah.
That's why you went there.
Yeah. So they had a bunch of stuff. They had like the Lumon vending machines there
Oh,
just around. And then
awesome.
there's a staircase around the back of the entry area. It's the staircase that Mark often is seen walking up and down when he enters and exits. Not the fire escape one that they kind of run out sometimes.
Yeah.
But kind of the staircase that people are entering and exiting.
Like when he
on.
clocks in and he's like, morning, Phil.
Exactly. There's like a stone staircase that goes down. So that's there. And they have security there because when you can go down, but once you get down to the bottom, you can't go into the offices. So you have to go back up again. And they have some posters down there. But there are people coming down and then coming back up and then saying to the security guard, sorry, was there supposed to be something down there? And the security guard was like, it's the staircase. You're supposed to be looking at the staircase. And they're like, oh.
This is actually still just an office building. It's
He's
not
like,
actually...
And I'm not a tour guide.
I'm just supposed to stop you from going in there.
where people are actually working.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, it's really cool. I
That's-
didn't expect it to
that's-
be that cool.
That is way more unnecessarily cool than they have to be about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really embracing it. And so like there are businesses in there as well on the ground floor because there's like shops and stuff because it's like a really big building. And like the florist in there has photos in the window now of characters holding, I guess, flowers that they've provided, stuff like that. It's just really cool.
That's awesome.
I mean, if anybody's in the area, go check it out. It's really
Fucking
cool if you like
would.
Severance.
But because you hear people all the time like, oh, a tree from this fucking, the tree from the opening credits of 6 Feet Under was in some guy's backyard, and so many people wanted to take pictures of it, he ended up chopping it down. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like the opposite.
and then there's these guys going, "Here's your fucking watermelon head."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Should we put the lobby back the way it was? Nah, fuck it. Just leave it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Hey, it's still
Well,
well for
we,
those businesses.
We shot.
Yeah.
We needed a street, like a really, really narrow street in the Philippines to shoot a commercial for an insurance company, and it was in a really poor area, and we literally got permission there by like bribing the mayor with the equivalent of like $40, right? You know, like it was just. But then we had to, because it's a commercial. Matt, you worked in commercials, you know. You pick something that you go, yeah, this is perfect, and then you completely redo it, right?
Yeah.
So they fucking put all this scaffolding and they put fucking all this bunting and stuff everywhere to, you know, make it look like way more affluent than it was. And then at the end, like the crew went to take it down, and the guys are like, Can you please leave that up? Like, this fucking slum has never
You've restored
looked
this
good.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
You've increased the value of my property by tenfold.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I had the opposite of that at Breakfast Point, if you recall.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Is that when you set fire to facade?
No. This is Breakfast Point was a TV commercial for TK Maxx, and the premise was that every alternate house shops at TK Maxx, so they have a fancy front yard and with all nice stuff. Right. And then there's a boring one. But Breakfast Point, if people don't know, is like every house has got to look exactly the fucking same. It's one of those places where it's like there are strict rules about things. So one of the things was you got to put everything back exactly as it was. And then there were things like they dinged us on stuff like there's some of that gravel is the wrong color because the art department had they gone too far with certain things, and then we literally had somebody there fucking picking gravel out of the fucking driveway and stuff like that. It's crazy.
We shot in this fucking beautiful house somewhere on the beach, like just all windows and stuff, and they had these big portraits, not paintings, so photographs. So a printout, right?
Yeah,
a photograph in huge thing, and the wind was roaring through. And we probably should have paid better attention to what windows were open and stuff, but one of these fell off and shattered. And like we're obviously gonna have to pay for this. You know, we'll take it out of the budget. But then they tried to I don't know if they sued us or whether they were just trying to extort money, just basically saying that this was like a original. I don't know how they can be an original of a photograph, but it's from some famous artist. And they ended up saying that we were somehow negligent or that we lied, that it came off in the wind. And they actually, their insurance company brought in these huge fans to try to blow the other ones down because they wanted to prove that. Yeah.
They wanted proof that you were messing around with it and trying to move stuff.
Yeah, that we'd put it. Yeah, that we'd taken it down. Yeah,
like that guitar in Hateful Eight. That story where
he just
Russell smashed the
it. I still do not understand why they had that guitar on set at all.
Well, it's authenticity. Just tell him though. Make sure you tell him.
Yeah. Be very clear about all this stuff. Yeah.
I know you meant to be smashing a guitar soon, but this is not the one.
I just love that. I mean, I love it's so dodgy because they told it was an accident, and then they go see the movie. Russell's literally smashing the fucking guitar in the movie.
Yeah,
accident.
Yeah, I
mean, in a sense. On the topic of Severance, still though, because I went to Lumon, I remembered that there's a podcast, the Severance podcast with Ben Stiller and Adam Scott.
Oh,
okay.
And I just want to say, I highly recommend it. It's very, very good.
I will take that recommendation right now.
They have the writer and one of the producers on the first episode. They have the actors on throughout to talk about the show. They basically do a rewatch. So they discuss each episode. But they have different guests on and stuff like that. Yeah. And they talk about things like, as we mentioned before, what do the innies know?
Yes. And
And they were talking about how, you know, when Helly wakes up and they do that, they asking her questions. Like they say, name a state, and she says Delaware. And then they ask her personal questions, and she's like, I don't know. Like, what's your name? I don't know. And then the writer's like, yes, they went through a lot of iterations of the questions because the whole point is to say, we need to know what made it through
Yeah.
because they
Right.
need to know enough to function, but not
Yeah.
enough to
I
be a
can
problem.
operate a computer, but I don't
Yeah.
know how to contact my outside self.
And then he also points out in the first episode, Irving talks about how they bleep the swear words in movies now. So he knows about that. But he said, yeah, people question it sometimes, but they do think about that quite carefully.
We live on a dude ranch?
Yeah. And there's some really good stories too. Like Adam Scott was talking about how he got cast first because Ben Stiller really liked him in Step Brothers. And then told him,
Yes.
if you can think of some other people.
Step Brothers, and that's not a very good movie.
No, he's
But
particularly good.
He's excellent in it, yeah.
So Ben Stiller said, if you can think of any people you might want to, we could suggest for the other team members, let me know. And then he goes, for Irving, there's a guy I saw do a guest spot on some show, and he was quite good, and I thought he'd be good at Irving. And then Ben Stiller was like, yeah, I was thinking maybe John Turturro. And he was like, all that? Yeah. And then Ben Stiller says, funny you should say that, because I asked John Turturro, he said, yeah, I'll do it. Do you want me to ask Christopher Walken if he'll do Bert? And he was like, yeah,
sure.
Jesus.
It's so funny that, like,
yeah.
He said, the point being, that happens to everybody in Hollywood at some point. Like, it's just a...
Right, yeah.
And then Turturro and Christopher Walken is just one of my favorite things in that show. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's so weird, like, Walken is in that. But when you think, like, Walken's done... It's not like he's done, like, everything he's done is great in his career. But
he's just up for it,
You see...
I mean,
but then,
I still think his greatest role is in Joe Dirt. You know? Like...
That fucking... slight spoilers for season 2. That scene at the train station with the two of them, so good.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
And they're just such interesting actors, too. Like,
I'm going to give it another try again.
Have you got... Yeah, you should, because you don't even need to skip ahead. You just need to start from the very next one.
Yeah.
And if you don't like bottleneck episodes, also skip the one about the wife. It's probably nothing you need to know in that one that you don't get
that his wife?
By them discussing it. Yeah, his wife.
Okay. Do you find out why she's there and stuff?
Yes. But
well... No.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes
there,
and no.
You find out what's important. Well, no,
that's the other thing that makes me less. I mentioned a couple of times I'm kind of concerned about the direction. Like, it's gotten very focused on Mark, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But that is always apparently like the plot of it has always been the plot of it. Like, and when they talk about how when they first saw it, it was quite different. The structure of it and the people and everything, but the like main story has always been the story. So
yeah, right.
I guess that makes me worry less about the fact that it's going somewhere,
Yeah.
So they've got the main story worked out. It's just the bits and pieces like that. They're still the fleshing out.
And they explore stuff about Lumon and the lore and all that kind of stuff.
That's why they went more with the goats. They didn't need to talk more about the goats.
No, I agree with that, but
thankfully they don't come back to Mammalius, whatever, except in that the goat.
They made it a bit relevant in a way.
Yeah, but they don't go back to that land.
Yeah,
right? That literal land.
Yeah,
in that room.
Yes,
good show.
That was weird.
But yeah, check out the podcast. It's really good. It's really interesting, and they're both they're funny as hell. The two of them. So
yeah, I bet they are. Yeah,
they have like a 10-minute discussion about daylight saving time at the start.
Right.
And then at one point, Adam Scott's like, should we talk about Severance?
Do they only do season 2 onwards? Because I'd love to hear them talk about season 1. Oh,
yeah, it starts at season 1.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right, straight
That's
after
good.
this then.
Yeah, I actually need to check. Because they talk about Patricia Arquette a lot. And I really want to hear her talk about Cobell because she's so, like, she's just great. Like,
yeah.
Man,
Patricia Arquette, like, when she was in Lost Highway and True Romance, like, fucking hell. All over.
Yeah. She's still cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
is this real? Because I saw this on
Yes.
July 1st and thought it was a joke.
They
but then I saw
addressed that too. They said, "Oh, yeah, sorry, shouldn't have done it today, but yeah, it is real."
Amazing. Right.
So what's happening?
Well,
You know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Yes,
the movie. You're familiar with the movie?
I know of it.
There's going to be a sequel about Brad Pitt's character, or sequel or prequel or something, a spin-off based on Brad Pitt's character, directed by David Fincher. Apparently, it's happening. Quentin Tarantino's writing it, Fincher's directing it, Brad Pitt starring in it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm all in, of course. I'm also confused, but then again, I suppose it's not the first time he's come in and directed a sequel, but
It is like one of
That
those
was
things
when
where
he
like, why
wasn't
is he doing
famous.
that?
yeah,
I mean, good on him, but
yeah.
wouldn't have picked
But
that.
also, it's kind of a comedy. Does David Fincher do funny?
Don't know.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
Or is this going to be real fucking dark and an explanation of what it means to be a man?
I mean, there'll almost certainly be some of that. But yeah.
So what, they announced it on April Fool's.
Yeah.
Well, that's
then-
when I saw it. And then I was like, very funny, guys. Like,
Yeah.
It says initially dismissed by some as an April Fool's joke. It has turned out to be real. They've said,
that's
no.
funny that they say that. So clearly I'm not the only one who thought that.
Yeah. And Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie are not confirmed to be in it, but Margot Robbie's representatives have said she's available, which, of course, well, you'd want to be in this, I assume.
Yeah. And spoilers, she survives this movie.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I might watch it one day.
Have you watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, it's very
On the subject of you watching stuff, did you watch it?
It's packed
think
away.
you
I
wouldn't
can't
have-
find it.
You wouldn't. Yeah, it's packed away inside your fucking Xbox.
Val Kilmer skips another week.
Packed away. I will find it.
He's
Not
running
even
Geek of
his
the Week
death
every
can
week
convince you.
until you watch.
Although I did watch it. I did watch a trailer for it. I do want to watch it because I think I will really enjoy it.
I like it. You're like, I bet this isn't even a movie I would like. Why do you think I've been telling you specific? I'm not like, Matt,
Yeah.
fucking go and watch it. He'll think it's fine. You will really like it. It's
It was a trivia question this week. Actually, the question was, see if you guys know this. Luke obviously won't know it because he's just fucking seen it. But I hadn't seen it either, but I still figured it out from the name.
Mm-hmm.
Val Kilmer originally worked with this British actor in Top Secret and then reunited with him 11 years later. The actor is Michael Gough.
yes.
What
He
movie
is
was he in? Correct.
Mm.
What was it?
Alfred.
Yeah.
Alfred's in it.
Yeah. I do know.
I was like, oh, I don't know. And then they said the name, and I was like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those fucking weird Batman facts that's in there.
But it's weird.
I'd
They went
forgotten
like
he was
they
in
worked.
Top Secret. But
You think that that question would have worked better the other way around to make it trickier?
yes, 100%.
I find trivia questions to be like that sometimes, where I'm like, why'd you write it that way?
Pretty much just get
Yeah.
the answer. Yeah.
But whatever.
Have you noticed though? Everyone's coming out going, "Oh, he was the best Batman, though. Can we admit that?" And it's like, sorry, I know he's just died, and I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie
Sort of.
too.
But he's not.
And no
He's
one
no
has
Adam
said
West.
that for 30 years.
I saw that at the movies, and I remember it's almost like I was like, oh, I liked that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
It was like, oh, I see why they didn't put Robin in the other ones,
Yeah.
Tim Burton ones.
And like Joel Schumacher.
I'd like to see well, not now, but
Well,
back in the day.
Yeah. No.
Direct a movie.
No. Ooh. It'd be slow.
Yes.
Joel Schumacher has made some very good movies, but he is also high camp, and I guess
Yeah.
you could argue that works with Batman.
He was the one who put nipples on the suit, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, he did it on purpose. Like,
Yes.
It's not like it was like you know, like
He made an actual choice to do it.
he wasn't trying to make a serious dark movie and
Yeah.
was mistakenly thought the nipples would fit the theme kind of
Yeah.
thing.
No.
He was
Yeah.
trying to make a movie that had nipples on the
Sega
back.
is over there going,
Like-
"Nice to meet you."
Yeah, exactly. Do not put me in the cooler. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a completely different tone.
Yeah.
Are they making a sequel to the 1989 Batman?
There's a book.
There's a comic sequel. Oh, it's a book sequel. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there is a sequel. It's called Batman Returns.
Well, I know, but are they making a sequel to that? I don't know. I hear that every now and again.
Yeah. There's a book, and then that I have not read yet, and then there's
Should
a
read that
sequel
too.
to that book coming out.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Are these on Audible? I bet they'd be great audio
Probably.
books.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at that.
I think it's literally just a sequel to the first film too. I don't think it actually includes Batman Returns because Batman Returns did
It was
go in
tonally very different.
Oh yeah, I love Batman Returns. I love it.
I like it for what it is.
Yeah,
But like,
it's Tim Burton. They were like, you can do what you want. Batman was great,
fuck.
and then they were like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, we shouldn't have let him do it.
it's like I've got this one playlist on my phone, on my Spotify, of like 90s era and early 2000s, like alt rock and stuff, right? And some songs come on, I'm like, fuck, this still holds up. But anytime a Korn song comes on, I'm like, I still like this, but just for nostalgia.
Sure.
Like, it just, if this came out today, people would be like, what is that?
Yeah. Great band though.
But yeah,
Yes.
I mean, and heaps of other bands
still
like
very good
all
live.
around that time. Yeah, I bet they are.
Well, we don't
But
get
I
to
think
see them
Their
live.
original lineup now, aren't they?
Yeah, heads back. Yeah. Well, I'm not the
Yeah.
drummer. Sorry. No, David Silvera retired.
Oh, right. Oh, one thing. I was listening, you might know this, Matt. I was listening to Limp Bizkit on the same playlist this week, right? Are there two guitarists in that band, or do they just loop Wes Borland in playing all the guitar parts
Yeah, it's
on
just
the
Wes.
albums?
Yeah.
I figured it must be. Yeah. Because otherwise it'd just be somebody else as good as him.
Right. No, it's just Wes.
Because in Counterfeit, there's just so many different
Oh yeah.
parts going
Parts
over
going on,
like
yeah.
at the same time. Yeah. Incredible.
No, it's just Wes. Layered. Yep. I watched a true crime this week, and it's a slightly interesting story because it was triggered by, we were driving home from Boston. Why were we in Boston? Don't recall.
Tea Party.
Oh, when we went to the Bluey thing with Lyra.
Oh, yeah.
So we're driving back, and on an overpass, we see a bunch of people holding signs that say "Free Karen Reed."
Ah, yes.
Oh, I'll take her. Yeah. I'll take it for free.
And we were like, what's that about? So Jenna looked it up and was like, oh, it's an ongoing court case about a murder, or, well, a death. And then there's a HBO documentary that's just come out a couple of weeks ago about it. Luke's familiar with it, sounds like.
I am, yes.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched that. I've been following, there are some YouTubers out there.
Yeah, okay.
One called Turtle Boy.
He's in the documentary.
Yeah, he's in the documentary. That's been on her side, and he's actually, I don't know if he's
Turtle
still in
Boy's a
jail
character
or is he
from
going
Blue.
to jail for witness tampering and
Jesus, okay.
Did you say
this
Tampa
is
witnessing?
very
Because
interesting.
I'm gonna write that down, and then I'm gonna get a map of Florida.
Campus witnessing.
yes.
Tampa witnessing.
So the gist of it, I think it's very interesting. The documentary is on HBO. It's called A Body in the Snow. And it's basically what happened. The gist of it is there's a couple. One of them's a Boston police officer. The other one is this woman, Karen Reed. They're in a relationship. They go out one night with a bunch of friends who are all law enforcement adjacent people. So there's police officers and like an ATF agent. All these people are all kind of cop related. They go out. They're all drinking. One of them says, some police sergeant says, bars closing. Do you want to come back? Everybody come back to my house. We'll have some more drinks. So there's a blizzard going on. Everybody drives home. Everybody's kind of drunk. Like, no getting around that. When Karen and John get there, there's some question about what exactly happens, but they were kind of having a bit of an argument or whatever. He gets out of the car. It's quite unclear what happens next, but she leaves, goes home, wakes up in the morning, he's dead in the snow. That's the gist of it. And the question is, what happened to him? And the immediate thing is that she thinks at first, it's all very confusing, but basically it's like, did she hit him with the car? Or, as the defense is alleging, was he murdered by the people in the house, all the police people who then covered it up? Oh. That's the gist of the story. And it's like quite complicated.
So the people who say free her think it's a conspiracy.
Yes.
I think that's...
Is it more likely that it's a conspiracy or an accident with a car?
I think it's tough because it's hard because the accident story doesn't actually make sense either when you look at all the evidence. Like it's very confusing. Like how? Like we don't have to go into the specifics. People should watch it, but I just question like
I'm just
the version that they're saying this is what happened. It's like that doesn't make any sense. Right. Like how would he have gotten there in the snow? Why did nobody see him? Like there's just a lot of stuff where it's like I don't know, man. But then yeah, you're right. Like there's like 10 people involved in this fucking cover-up are all cops.
It seems unlikely that they would all...
But again, it's not impossible. So maybe.
Yeah, but the more people you have in on something like that...
That's what I always think too.
That's why all 10 of them have on the line. People only
making a murderer
cover that shit up
really
when they're very, very paranoid.
Because making a murderer played like pretty loosey-goosey with the facts when you... follow it up, and it's like it actually does seem like he probably killed Teresa Holbeck.
Yeah,
like there's the cops did a really bad job of investigating.
He probably killed a lot of other people.
like the cops just did a bad job, and in this case too, the cops did a terrible job because there's a blizzard. They couldn't get the proper investigations team there. They were using a fucking snowblower to clear the snow where the body was. There's just bits of fucking stuff going everywhere. It's just a disaster. Like
Jesus,
and everybody involved is a cop and they all know each other. And it's just like so easy to say, well, you really shouldn't have been involved. But like, how do you deal with that? Like they're all cops. So anyway, interesting and worth checking out. I just don't know what to make of it, to be honest.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on HBO here. I don't know where it would be.
So I'm not quite sure what HBO is. HBO is sort of a bit of a mix sometimes.
That's what I mean. I'm not sure how it works down there.
Not soon. They're launching here soon.
Oh yeah, another streaming service.
But yes, interesting. Oh yeah, she's a very. She seems very. She likes the attention, which doesn't help either. It's all very like.
Oh, Prime.
I found it
currently unavailable. So fucking why does
the spoilers. The first trial was declared a mistrial because the jury was just like, we've no fucking idea. Like none of this makes any sense. Basically, we can't agree. And so now there's a new trial happening this month, which I guess is why they're getting the documentary out.
Yeah, so but I only know from the Turtle Boy stuff because I sometimes watch.
I did hear that there's some new evidence that's come out since that doesn't look good for her. This is the other thing that's weird, though, right? They charged her with murder, and I'm like, well, surely it was an accident, if anything, right?
Yeah,
like even your
why murder?
I don't know why they're going for murder.
Like, you think you go for manslaughter, which is
that's the other charge, but it's like they're going for second-degree murder. It's like they think she did it on purpose. Accidentally. Like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's why I can see why the jury didn't get it, because I don't fucking get it.
Matt, did you watch the second season of The Jinx?
No, I've got to do that. This reminded me that that's on there too.
Oh, yes.
So just to wet your whistle, as it were, and this is not a spoiler because this is the opening scene of this first episode in the second season. Before it's footage of the room where all the people interviewed in the first season are watching the final episode of the first season, not knowing what happens.
Right.
And so the people that tried him and all of that, like
watching him confess while he's taking a piss.
Yeah. Because I was like, where can it go from here? Oh, no.
That's quite compelling content.
Yeah. It's incredible.
And all because he wanted to do stuff. Like,
yeah,
he got away with it.
He reached out to them. Yeah.
Yep.
He had gotten away with it.
Yeah.
He literally could have just let it go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's also a bit where there's an interview, like just a normal scene, and then the camera pans out, and the assistants run in going, he's dead. And the interviewer's like, oh, we might stop here then.
Fucking
Because
hell.
he died while they were making it.
Yeah.
But they show the moment in the it's great.
I almost feel like I have to rewatch the first one.
I did.
Yeah, and then watch the second
That's
one.
what I did too.
I
Yeah.
started
And it's
watching the
just
first one.
That
it's
series,
so
man.
good.
The first time I watched it, like as a documentary filmmaker, that must have been like the greatest
Yeah.
day of their life. But, like in a weird
Don't you
way,
get
because it's not a nice thing,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
But
No,
to
fucking
have
hell.
realized you have a recording.
No.
of
But
this
they
man
knew that it was so
confessing
good.
to murder.
Yeah. But they asked the cops not to arrest him until the next day. They knew
Yeah.
they were onto something so good. They're
Yeah,
like, we've got evidence for you, but you have to let this air first.
don't take this away from us.
Yeah, that's right. This is a fucking unicorn.
So imagine being that fucking sound recordist, and you're just sitting there, and you're like,
Well, it reminds me also
Oh,
of
guys.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah. Because I've like that's parodied in a lot of shows. Like people badmouth people while they're on it, but that happens all the time.
yeah.
Like
Well,
constantly.
He does. Oh, sorry. He does it earlier in the documentary too. He has a seeming like.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're not used to.
Oh yeah. Because the assistant comes in and goes, you need to stop talking about.
Yeah,
this.
stop talking. You've got a microphone on.
Yeah.
Like
But
earlier
what you
points.
also don't forget, like I'll be sitting with clients in Video Village, right, and they'll be like, "Oh, can you change this?" I'm like, "Oh no, it's going to be. Don't make me ask her to do it like that." No, you have to. She has to say less. I'm like, fine. And then I'll go up to her and I'll say, "These fuckwits over there." Like, I'll argue. But then I get back and they're like, "You know, when you're talking directly to her, you're talking into her mic, which we can all hear."
And then you can say, "I know. It's just
just make
she's
it.
a fucking prima donna, bro." And then she's like, "You know, when you're talking to them, they've got microphones on."
You're all fuckwits. I fucking hate you all.
Right?
You know where there's no fuckwits? The after party.
Is that true? Sometimes there are.
Yeah, that's where we talk mainly about fuckwits.
Nah, we got our fuckwit news done with J.K. Rowling.
Do you know what I've told
Although if she wants
security?
to make me a man.
Do not, under any circumstances, let Neil Gaiman in this week because Luke is sick of him. And as far as I'm aware,
But you know what he's going to do, Matt? He's just going to come in the back door. Whether you like it or not.
no, we're going to get in there. He's going to be in the bath waiting.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I've told them, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Please no.
But what's the after party?
Oh, the after party is more show.
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll keep talking for another like 10 to 15, an hour, depending how we feel.
Whatever we want to do. We've twice now done one longer than the main show.
Yeah, we do have quite a lot of stuff we could talk about. So,
A lot of people and or things have died this week.
Yes.
yeah, and that's where we cover them.
I know one of them's not getting Geek of the Week.
Ooh.
I mean, it had its chance.
Yep. It's its own fault.
If you want to know what he's talking about, go to patreon.com/multiple nerdgasm. For $5 a month, you can get the after party. And for $1 a month, you can support the show. You get the podcast and the video feed delivered to you early on the Patreon. But $5 a month is where you get the extra
good stuff.
content. Yeah, the extra content. And you can go for $5. You pay $5 now. You can get all the old ones as well. If you want to do that, that's fine. Go ahead. There's like
If you want to
at
just
least
listen
100
to
after
it,
parties at this point.
Really?
Yeah. You want to spend 1
Wow.
month listening to 100 after parties and then just cancel it? You could do that.
Yeah,
It'd be a
you can
fun
if you want.
but you could do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I've done it for other podcasts, so you should do it
Yeah.
for ours.
we'll see you there.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.